screen. We're going to do a little bit of research into looking for odd security operations center analyst roles, right? So let's go over to, let me go pull up a Google. The old people say the Google, not just Google, the Google, right? Let's pull up the Google, and we're gonna go to, let me see. Let's go over to here. Why is Google showing me news all of a sudden? I don't know. I like Google because they didn't show me news. I don't, uh, whatever. I don't care what, I like the very last thing that I care about is about Angel Reese's anything, right? About how she feels about anything, right? But let's go for odd SOC analyst jobs, right? So let's see if we can find, or maybe let's say we do overnight SOC analyst jobs, right? So remote overnight knock could work too. I could see a knock analyst role working. Let's see, 24 overnight SOC analyst roles. Let's take a look at ZipRecruiter. Let's see. So junior SOC analyst. Let's see what this has to do. Remote, full time. So let's see what this role is right here. Let me get this off the screen. All right. So Key Logic LLC is currently looking for a junior SOC security operations center analyst to support federal. What did you say? Federal? The program provides comprehensive security monitoring and incident response through 24/7, 365 monitoring and analysis of potential threat activity targeting the enterprise. I didn't start a timer. Give me a second. Timer on. All right. Let's see. To support this vital mission, this team is on the forefront of providing SOC operations to include, what in the world is that? Oh, okay. That was weird. To include triage events, security operation investigation for potential threat activity identified with the organization. So, all right, so this is what I want to see, right? While the position is primarily remote, being on site in Alexandria, Virginia may be required in the future. What? See, look at that. Magnetar, even in these jobs, they're looking to bring you back to the office. I'm telling you. I'm in a bind, Nate. So what are the hours that are available? And you know what? This might be a good opportunity for MB, for Reed Cyber Ready. It says this is a 24/7 operation with 12-hour shifts with 4 days on for 1 week and 3 days on the next week. And my guy Ferris, before he was working 10 jobs in cybersecurity, he was working overnight. He was working, he had like 3 different jobs that he was working at all type of different hours. He had one job from like 7 to 7, another job from like 7:30 to like 5, and he had another job from like 4 to, and they were like all staggered, right? All staggered. But it says that this 24/7 operation says front half days, week 1, Sunday to Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Week 2, Sunday to Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., right? Front half nights, you could be working 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Week 2, Sunday to Tuesday, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., right? Back half days, you can be working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. from Wednesday to Saturday, and 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday to Tuesday on week 2. And same thing for nights, right? Core days, you have a Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Midday, 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And then nights, 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. So they give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different options. Corporate duties such. All right. So here's a question in the chat. Would you take one of these roles? Right? Well, not even one of these roles, because you'll probably say, "Oh, I would definitely take the core day on Monday, Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m." Well, guess what? Every other person who applies for this role would also take that job. So my question to you is, would you take, as a junior SOC analyst, somebody with no experience, looking to get some experience, like let's say you went to WGU, right? Western Governors University. You took their cybersecurity program. They took care of your certifications. You fast track your education. You finish within, like, let's say 2 years, or let's say 4 semesters to keep the cost down, right? And now you are looking for a job, but guess what? It has to be remote. It has to be between 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. It is what it is, right? And they're like, well, guess what? No job for you. But so my question to you is, would you be willing to work either this Sunday to Wednesday? So you're giving up. So in both of these jobs, right? You're giving up your Sundays on the front half, on the front half days, right? You're giving up your Sundays. Would you be willing to give up your full Sunday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.? And once you get home after a 12-hour shift, you are tired. I'm tired, boss. But would you be willing to give up your Sundays in order to get your foot in the door? That's my question to you. Would you be willing to give it up? Front half nights, though. The next line, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Are you able to work a night shift, a 12-hour night shift? Are you as tough as a night nurse working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.? And guess what? It's not even as tough as a night nurse, because guess what? The night nurse has to drive to the hospital and put that work in, going from patient to patient. You are sitting at the computer, monitoring, looking for crazy activity. Maybe your developers are doing some stupid things. Maybe people are trying to hack into your system, but you're monitoring, right? Would you be willing to give up your Sunday nights, right? So, you're giving up your Sundays, your Mondays, and your Tuesdays.
Back to work, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work.
Or are you willing to give up your Saturdays? Right? Well, and for this one, it's only one Saturday you're giving up. You still get to keep one of your Saturdays, right? You choose. Are you going to give up your Saturday mornings or your Saturday nights? Your Friday nights, your Saturday and Friday night. I would probably recommend give up your Friday and Saturday, because that way you won't be getting into any trouble. You'll be actually making money, so you don't have to play the song "Where's My Money," right? So, what would you give up? What would you give up? Are you going to give up your Friday and Saturday? And for this one, it's only every other week that you're giving up your Friday and your Saturday, all right? Back half nights. So then, because guess what? There's a high chance that you're not going to get this job. There's also a high chance you're not going to get this job. This one might be available to you, but I'm pretty sure people are going to go after this one before they go after the 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and the 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. For these, right? What are the requirements? We have 1 year of experience working in network defense environments, which they'll probably waive that 1 year difference. Maybe your internship that you do in college will be enough, right? Bachelor's degree in information tech, cybersecurity, computer science, computer engineering, electrical engineering. Years of experience and or cyber certifications can be in lieu of a degree. For some reason, they keep forgetting. Those pesky kids keep forgetting to add a cybersecurity bootcamp as well. And pretty much basically all the other standard SOC analyst type stuff, right? Salary, $60K a year. $60K a year. Would you be willing to give up your Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, nights, or days for $60K a year, right? Would you be willing to do it for $60K a year? That is the question. All right, so that's my thought. That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering, right? But the reason I pull this up is when you are getting started in a new field, you got to do what you got to do. Because like I said, nobody has to give you anything. You have to take what's available to you, and then you build experience off of that. And then as you gain experience, you can start building your own path. All right. That's all I'm saying. That is all that I'm saying. All right. Let's wrap that up. Let's go back to full screen. And before I even check the chat, we're going to jump right into our last segment of work. And then we'll wrap it up with the chat, final announcements, all of that good stuff. All right. So I'm going to put up, although there's less than 20 minutes on the clock, I'm going to put up 20 minutes because we're going to do a full show, not a partial show, but we're going to do a full show tonight. All right. Let's get to our last 20 minutes of work.
It's time to do.
Maxer says, is this a side job? Maxer, that is a full-time job. That is a full-time job. 12-hour shifts, 4 days 1 week, 3 days the other week. That gets you to 80 hours for the 2 weeks. All right. So it is a full-time job for $60K a year. Right. Ability to work greater than 40. I didn't even see that part. Ability to work greater than 40 hours per week as needed. Occasional nights and weekends work required, and or 12-hour shifts in a single day. All right. So that's a full-time job. That is a full-time job. All right. Let's see. Let's continue with this work. All right. So I'm going to go over. Let me get this off the screen as well. All right. So we are over here. What's going on with my Kali Linux? It's going crazy. Why are we going crazy? Give me a second. We're going to shut it down. Kali Linux is going crazy on me. Hold on. I'll show you guys what's happening over here. I can't even use my mouse. Let's see. That's crazy. Hold on. I don't know what to do with this thing. Hold on. I got an idea. All right, there we go. Let me just shut down. Let me shut down Kali Linux because it is VMware is going crazy on me. Let's go and shut it down. And then I'm gonna start it back up. You gotta think fast on your feet sometimes. All right. So let's go ahead and let's start up VMware again. I don't know what happened with it there. It just started going crazy. Don't call me crazy. And it's doing all right. So okay, let's see. I don't know what's going on with it. Let's do a shutdown. Let's see. Let's restart it. You run into unexpected things at times, all right? So we figure it out. We make it work, and then we make it better. That is why I don't do pre-recorded coding things much, right? Because I could easily create a course or something like that and just show everything working perfectly, right? But if everything works perfectly, right? And now when you go, something's wrong with this. You see something? Something's wrong with my installation because it's getting stuck. It is getting stuck. I don't know what's going on with it. Let me shut it down. For some reason, I'm not able to log in. It's getting to this option. I'm logging in. But yeah, imagine if I had this issue and I'm like, well, I'm just going to cut that off so that you guys can't see it. Then how does that help you, right? All right, so guess what we have to do? We have to do some research. We got to see why this is happening, right? So let's say Kali Linux. Kali Linux VMware Fusion blank screen with cursor upon login. All right, let's open this up a little bit. If your Kali Linux virtual machine on VMware shows a blank screen with only your cursor after logging in, it usually indicates a problem with your virtual machine's display settings, potentially caused by incompatible graphics cards, incorrect display resolution, or issues with the virtual machine's video card settings with VMware Fusion. This was working just fine just a second ago. But like I said, we run into things here on a daily basis, and we have to figure it out on the fly. This was not expected. All right. Let's try to go to, some things to try. Let's go to, let me see, let me make this smaller so I can see the instructions. Let's try a few things out here. So it says go to, doesn't make any sense. Virtual machine settings, unless I press something by mistake. Settings, display. I don't know. All right, so let's shut that down. That is so weird. I don't know what happened to it. I have to mess with it to figure out what exactly is going on. Let's see, accelerate 3D. Shared. Let's go with this. Leave that off. I don't know. Let's give it a start. Let's I don't know. This is weird. We get to this screen, right? Booting in 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. We get our logo, and then it gets stuck there. Let's say after logo. Indicates a problem with the virtual machine's graphics settings. Most likely, this doesn't make any sense. Other potential issues: guess OS setting. Check the display setting within Kali Linux itself by accessing. But how can I get there? That doesn't make any sense. Let's see. There we go. Somebody else says. Somebody else has. All right. Kind of same thing. Let me see something. Enter. And. Just came out of nowhere. That's funny. All right, let's see what we can figure out, because it is what it is. That's why we take the slow approach here. We don't just try to rush it. I don't hide any of the struggles that we go through. All right, so if I have, let me check. You know what? Let me check my resources on this computer as well. We have a lot of space actually. We have a lot of space. All right. Let me see. So let's try some of this stuff, right? So if I go here and I say, let's shut down the machine again. It just started happening out of nowhere. That's the crazy part about it. So it says, all right, go to VM settings. Function in the VMware app menu, memory, we saw it work for a little bit. I wonder if it has anything to do with the installation though. Let's see. So let's go to display. We go to here, settings. It says make sure the memory is at 3 gigs. Oops. Let's see. Where's the memory? Memory is at 4 gigs, so that's fine. Let's see. We have 2 processors. We have that. Under display, it says turn off. What we turned on, so turn it off. Make sure 1 monitor. Single window. I guess that's it. But that's what we did, though. That is what we did. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but we'll try. And if that's how we have to shamefully end the show today, then that's how we have to shamefully end the show. It is what it is. You know, we are here to learn. What is this? I don't have a snapshot. Great. Let's give it a start. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let me see what these advanced options are. Let's see my mouse. Let's try the recovery mode. Let's see what we get that way. Enter to continue. Yeah, that's not good. But guess what? The worst case scenario, because it's a virtual machine, we just delete it and get a new one. I'm not really worried about it. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. But if we can't get into it to continue with this tonight, then we will consider that we used the recon for the win. Had some trouble installing it. We can accredit our VM crashing to recon for the win, at least, because that's when it stopped working, and we'll go from there, right? But I don't know. I'm really not sure what is going on with this thing at this point. Let me see how much time we have left. Let's see. Well, it is what it is. So, final thoughts on this. I don't think it's a hard drive. Turn that off. Last ditch effort. We will do one last one. If that doesn't work, then so be it. We'll wrap it up at that point, right? And we'll still be done in perfect timing. The logo shows up, and then nothing. Makes no sense at all. Well, that's all she wrote, folks. That is all she wrote. I'll probably just end up wiping this install out because I don't know what caused it to crash. Says, DB Darrow is coming in clutch. Says, can you boot into single user mode or other modes in Kali boot list? Let's give it a try. So let's go over to, let me put that up there. Let's go over to here, and we're gonna say, that's interesting. Oops, let's go to, restart. And, all right, so how to boot into single user mode then. Let's look at that. Kali Linux boot into single user mode. Use Kali Grub to boot into single. How do I boot into single user mode? What is Grub? I don't know what Grub is. Let's see. Let's do it. I thought I did though. I'll do it again though. Let's do a when virtual machine shutdown. I sure want to shut down. Yes, I want to shut down. Should be shut down now. All right. And what about the single user mode? So to boot into single user mode, edit your boot instructions for the grub menu. That's gonna take too long to do today. But let's see. I'll try it one more time, but either way, we're not gonna get to what we wanted to do. Let me see something. Firmware settings. Something probably crashed. I'm guessing something happened with that FTW install, because it shows the logo and then it crashes right there. Are there logs? Let me see. Ooh, how about that? Where can I see Kali Linux logs? var log directory. The question is, how do you get to the var? Oh, so maybe we can do this, right? So let's do one last restart. I just want to check something real quick. But now you get to see how my mind works when it comes to troubleshooting, right? So let's go here. That's not what I want. I can't do that. I wanted to go into the command prompt. I wanted to go to the command prompt. Let me see. Oh, I have a shell. All right, so let me do ls current directory. All right, so cd var. I can get in there. cd efi. I don't remember the command, but I'll figure this out. I will figure this out because this is annoying. I think maybe something crashed the install. But I was going to try to see the logs, but I don't want to spend a bunch more time doing that. So let's go back to let's call that a day. Let's call that a day. Let's go over here and let's go back to full screen. We'll figure it out next week. We will figure it out next week. Actually, no. Next week, we're going to move on to scanning because I wanted to start scanning today. It says try the second option in Kali boot Linux. And I did do that. I chose recovery mode and did the same exact thing, DB Darrow. It's weird. It says there are logs, but you have to get into that mode. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to create it because that's why they are virtual machines, right? Right, DB Darrow? That's why we have virtual machines. But we are going to let me do final announcements, and then we are going to check the chat to
being
that,
a
right?
boss ain't just flexing power. It's about moving right, thinking sharp, and leading from the heart. Here's the commandments, learn them, live them, lead them. 10 rules to lead, 10 rules to win. If you wanna hold the crown, better let that sink in. A real boss don't fake, don't fold, don't stray. Follow the code and you'll never lose your way. Rule 1, don't just talk, show the grind. If your hustle ain't loud, they gon' leave you behind. A leader don't flex if the team don't shine. It's a squad thing, leave no one behind. Rule 2, stand tall, don't trip on the shade. Haters throw stones, but the real don't fade. If you crack under pressure, your crew gon' split. Be the rock in the storm, keep your squad legit. Rule 3, speak truth, even if it sting. Lies build walls, truth build wings. Respect hit different when your words stay bomb. They'll follow you forever long after you gone. 10 rules to lead, 10 rules to win. If you wanna hold a crown, better let that sink in. A real boss don't fake, don't fold, don't stray. Follow the code and you never lose your way. Rule 4, listen more, talk less, observe. Wisdom hit harder when it's served by the curve. Catch the vibe, read the room, play chess, not dice. A real leader moves quiet, but precise. Rule 5, Protect the squad, keep them tight. A snake in the crew can't poison the fight. Cut them off clean, don't let them linger. One fake vibe could pull the whole trigger. Rule 6, know your worth but know your flaws. A king ain't a king if he don't learn laws. Growth ain't weakness, it's the key to the crown. The higher you rise, the harder you hold it down. Rule 7, don't stunt, just play the role. Real bosses build empires, not just control. Rule 8, share the wins, don't hoard the bread. A team fed right won't turn their heads. Rule 9, be loyal, never snake your crew. The streets don't forgive when betrayal come through. Stay solid, stay real, stay real, stay real, stay real. 10 rules to lead, 10 rules to win. If you wanna hold the crown, better let that sink in. A real boss don't fake, don't fold, don't stray. Follow the code and you never lose your way. Rule 10, lead with love, not just power. Your team ain't your servants, they your flowers. Water them, grow them, watch them bloom. A leader's legacy is the seeds they groom. And that's the leader code. Rule 10, lead with love, not just power. Your team ain't your servants, they your flowers. Water them, grow them, watch them bloom. A leader's legacy is the seeds they groom. And that's the leader code.